Welcome back to Factorio Seablock TSM episode number 61. Okay, I think I've done a little bit of work to get the glass happening a little bit better, because that then, after the copper, the glass became the number one issue in terms of blue science. And then I had to do a little bit of work over by here. I added another boiler in so that all of these could operate, so that we'd get some of the carbon coming down here. Yeah, we don't have a huge amount of hydrogen coming in. Or at least if we do, we're using it all up. That seems to be a reasonable amount, but maybe we're burning through it quite fast now. So there's that, and that kind of leads me to, this is our aluminium supply, and it's not a function of running out of the ore. We have tons of ore. We do have a little bit of sodium hydroxide now, but we had completely run out, and there you go, we're run out again. It's just whenever this guy feels like waking up, really. The other thing is we need to add some iron ore to this line, else our ferric chloride solution will also dry up. So we don't necessarily have to. In fact, all of this one here is completely and utterly meaningless. So I think what I'll do first of all is I'll sort out the sodium chloride. So yeah, we don't, this is no longer a thing. And coming through along there is no longer a thing. There's our sodium hydroxide being converted into something a little useful. Now we don't need a huge amount of this iron ore, just some. Just some. Okay, so let's do something like this. Are you a yellow belt? No, you're not even a yellow belt. And we want to join this line. So I guess we can weave between the existing pathways and come down there, and that will renew our ferric chloride supply of iron ore. Probably overfeed it, but it's probably alright. How are we doing up there? Everything looks good. So that's ferric chloride sorted. So sodium hydroxide. What I want to do with sodium hydroxide is basically do a completely new process to generate some new sodium hydroxide. So if we come up here, we have a process for saline water. Saline water, I think we need the salination plant, which needs concrete brick, aluminium plate, brass pipe, all of which I don't have enough on me, so we'll have to pick those up. Here is concrete brick. What else? Aluminium plate. Yes, we're a little light on the aluminium plate. Whoops. Unless that's the one that I need. It must have been, because we now have enough to be able to make a salination plant. So let's bring it over here, roughly where we need it. Salination plant. Something like that. Oh, we're out of text. That's amazing. What do we have here? Titanium is probably something we want to be able to do soon. What does advanced solder gives us? Yeah, I don't know about that recipe. I wouldn't mind metallurgy 3, so let's get that in the list. Water treatment 4. That's probably worth doing, but it looks like we are going to need this titanium. I don't know if we already have a recipe for titanium. We're probably going to need nitinol soon. What else is here? Not really sure. Advanced silver smelting. Sure, why not? Cement processing. This is another option for cement. I don't think that's one that I want to use though. So maybe chlorine processing. Gives us a few other options for things. Not sure what for yet, but it can't hurt to get it happening. Titanium processing, that's probably worthwhile. I think we need to go there fairly soon, so that will keep us going for now. I want, what's this? Ingredient salt. Well, I've got no way of making the salt. That's the problem. So let's just take water and have it turn magically into saline water. Nothing wrong with a bit of magic. I think I got tool belt 1 at some point, so I've now got one more row, which is great. I'll have to look out for the next upgrade on tool belt, because we need a huge inventory in this. So this is going to produce saline water, and I wanted, I didn't want that, I want Control F. Sodium hydroxide. How do we get that from? Sodium hydroxide. You got to get the right one. You got to choose this one, not this one. This one is the Bob's recipe that's no longer relevant to us because we have all these Angels recipes. You got to choose the right recipe. No. No. What's that? Saline water. Sodium hydroxide, chlorine, and hydrogen. And I don't mind topping up the hydrogen. We'll see about the chlorine. We can do this in electrolyzers. And that's what we're producing here, right? Yes, saline water. So we should have an electrolyzer Mark III. That's what I want. So this will top up chlorine. And we can top up the hydrogen as well, if I can find where a hydrogen is. That seems to be the furthest extent of hydrogen at the moment. Let's just put some, I guess we can use these iron pipe to grounds. Stone pipe. Yes, I don't mind topping up the hydrogen, and then that will give us a new flow of sodium hydroxide to top up the fairly lackluster supply that we seem to be getting from down below. Okay, you actually is pretty crap where that's going in. That is if you put it out there and get a power pole, no, that doesn't work at all. How many do we actually produce? Only one. Chlorine is at 80. Hydrogen is now maxed. Oh, okay, that's because I had a closed system here, so that was not where I should have been plugging hydrogen into. Plugging it into there is a much better idea. I don't know if having all that hydrogen in there is a problem or not. It might be. But now that we've got rid of some, hopefully it will be able to bleed off the hydrogen. Yes, that's a closed loop. You are going fine. That's a nice addition. It's probably not enough, but it'll do for now. At least this is coming out quite steadily. Okay, next on our hit list is what exactly? What are you? Oh, you're the aluminium. Fine. That is solved. This is back in action. Okay, what's going on over here? Saline water is not moving. That is a problem. Saline, no, that's mineralized water. This is the saline water. It's because of this is all jammed up. Okay, I've been silly here for far too long. Let's put that over there. Let's have a let's have one of these and convert to sand, but not with that recipe, with a different recipe. Sand. Probably stop when this is 1,000 or less. So basically enable if mud, if I can find mud, if mud is greater than 1,000. You can make some sand, and the sand can be placed into a box. So all of these things can get rid of their water, and we can have mineral saline water from that process come up here, and this whole paper thing and whatever else can carry on as it's supposed to. Okay. What were we going to look at? We were going to look at there is some new builds that I want to do. We need to start doing the processing units. between circuits. But before we do that, let's have a look at our build over here. We've just increased hydrogen production, so I can afford to reduce hydrogen production in our facility over here. But what I wanted to do was give this a narrower profile first of all, although does it matter? Well, this, yeah, it does matter. We can do things to reduce this profile, maybe. Maybe it actually doesn't matter up here because we probably can't get it any narrower than that, but down here I could certainly make it at least 2 narrower. I could wrap this round this way and I could move that one in, but I don't know if that actually helps. Unless there is a better way of weaving this through these guys, which maybe there is. If it's separated out, if I moved these along slightly, gave them slightly more space, there actually would be a case for that. Involves a lot of surgery. If we got rid of you, so basically we would have you there. How much space do we have? That's 2. Got 4 space, so we could move you over by 4, you over by 2. 4 puts you hard against this thing, but that's okay, maybe. No, maybe it's not. Well, in a way it is, because if you were doing this stuff and that goes there and that goes there, hang on, something like that, and all we actually need is yellow belts apparently. You drop off there, you pick up from there, you are in the way. So I would want to go cut on all of that and move it actually to there. Then that doesn't quite reach, but this one does. So we'd get rid of you. We'd get rid of you and you. Let's do that again. A cut here. That moves 2 spaces over. You actually need to go 1 more. Hang on. And then we would have that and that. That would then enable us to... I probably don't actually need that, but never mind. What sort of belt are you? Basic. Basic belt there. You can come up. We can change that in that way. There is a little problem here. This one doesn't actually have any room to put the inserters into. But it can actually, no, it can put them here. So you pick up there. You pick up from there. You pick up from there. You pick up from there. You need a whole bunch of these things. You can go in there. And we need power here. Well, we need power there as well. You actually should be doing something completely different. Let's work this out. So you pick up from there and you pick up from there as well. And we should be back to processing. No, this is not quite right. I need pipe here. And you're right, and you're right. Okay, with that done, what we've achieved is the possibility of moving this a whole heap closer to down here. Which we will now do. Okay, so this is where it's coming in. What I'll do is this. We need the creation. Actually, that's 3. But that's okay. And what we need to do here is shrink all of this in. Okay, let's use our cut blueprints again. Cut all of that. And we can bring it in that close. We don't need you. Which basically means that it's kind of pointless having that, especially when you've got squeak through. You might as well just have normal pipe. It makes very little difference. Sulfuric acid, are you still connected? No, there appears to be an issue with the sulfuric acid. Yes, I've stretched this too far, basically, so... Now we have sulfuric acid. Why are you going in this direction? You don't need to do that. You do need to do that. And that is pretty much that. No, it's not. We need a narrower profile up here as well. Okay, just to show you what the intention is. Perhaps these. And then that. So instead of going up there, we do that instead. The whole point of this is to reduce the profile. God damn it. To reduce the profile so that we can make a copy of this whole thing. Purple. I certainly don't want the crushed version. So that's now at least 4 width narrower, which means we'll be able to fit more of these guys in. That's the general idea, at least. You don't do anything anymore. So yeah, what we can do now, well, mind you, this thing here, maybe we don't actually need one of these for every line. Wow, that's a lot of sulfur in there. We can perhaps get away with something less. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the water. Maybe I should actually turn this around and put it out here, just so it's kind of out of the way. In any event, I don't really... I want to jam this up as close to here as I can. I do need 1, 2, 3, a projection of 3. 1, 2, 3. In fact, I think it will actually fit. As long as these can fit, that could be an issue. Oh, we're going to run out of O2 soon. It's for you, it's not for you. So that probably isn't too bad a problem. Are all these empty already? Almost. Turn my bots off because I don't want to pick up these things. And let's do a rip up action on all of that first of all. We probably don't have enough washing machines and things on me. I do have some, 4. Yes, I don't have enough, so maybe I should get some more washing machines. And how many of these do I have? I have 4 of them as well, so perhaps some more sorting machines. What about liquefiers? And liquefiers. Let's stock up on those devices. Yeah, this way is probably fine. Good to see science moving. I'd like to be able to build some more labs. Having 4 labs at this stage of the game seems kind of ludicrous, I think is probably the word I want to use. 10 of those. Oh, what's all this stuff? Those are flotation cells. That's not actually what I'm after. Those are crystallizers or crushers. Those are probably sorters, are they? Yes, or sorting facilities. Liquefiers, I think, were liquefiers. Not filtration units. Liquefier Mark III, there you go. Those are the things that I was after. So in that time, this has sufficiently died down. We're going to have to break this line at the risk of everything that that entails. Yeah, we're going to have to break all of this. So that I can make a copy of this one. Do I have a spare blueprint? I do. Well, I do now. I didn't really want to go up to there. I didn't really want you. I don't know if I want you. I don't know if I want these random power poles. But that should do. And I would like to put this as close as possible. Which would mean there. And I'm actually pretty happy with that, I think. There's a few things that I need to move. I need to move this. I need to move this lot. These things seem to also be in the way. Okay, let's see if that works now. Yeah, it could do. Oh. Let's just get rid of that as well for the moment. There. It actually seems to work slightly better even than I was kind of expecting it to. Right, what I'm going to do is turn my bots on so they can help fill out some of these bits that are missing. I'm kind of hopeful this is slightly tighter packed than these so that I can get more of them in the same amount of space. I'm going to have to build another one of those. I'm pretty sure I don't have any more. But they're fairly easy to build. And I need an assembly machine Mark II. Oh, and a chem plant Mark II as well. Petrochem, of course. There's actually a... No, that's the advanced. I keep making that mistake. There is an advanced machine there. We may need to get some more red belt. Still a few pieces left, but yes, we do need a little bit more red belt for this. And some more red underground? No, we are fine. Okay, there's a slight problem just there. And just there. Alright, that should work for that. That should work for that one. The mineralized water is going to just have to do that. And we also need this one to connect to it as well. About something like this. There we go. So red belt. I know I don't have any defined anywhere. If I run along this one, it's probably closer than running to the bottom. Doing an extra pathway, not necessarily such a bad thing. And I'm pretty sure it's up. From there. We go. Red belt. We may as well get some red undergrounds as well. Right, that should be fine, I guess. Interesting. That doesn't cross all the way over. Oh, so now red circuits is woeful. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised. We'll have to find a better way of doing resin. Is it resin that uses 10 wood? Yes. Let's actually look this up for resin while I think about it. Get used to these controls. Resin. Resin 1. What? Why does this not show me anything? Okay, let's just not do that. It's just called resin. 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 There's liquid resin and there's resin from wood. So we probably want to move towards the liquid resin. There's a 1, 2, 3, and there's also these. I don't know exactly what they mean. This one is urea and formaldehyde. I seem to remember that looked like it was a challenge at one point, but it may not be anymore. This one, raw bio resin and ethanol. We have a tiny amount of ethanol. What about this one? Liquid resin. Oh no, that's going backwards. Raw bio resin. I think that was an offshoot of a recipe we could have put in up here. But I guess this is probably more likely what we're going to look for. To save the trees. Let's finish what we're trying to do right now, and then we can consider that recipe. Can't really afford to have red circuits dry up like this. Yes, I think these are a little closer. It might be that I can't get that many more in this space though. I'm guessing I don't have any fast stack filter inserters on me. Hang on, what are they? Oh no, that's not the problem. The problem is we're missing steel chests. 5, 10, 11, 12. Is that what we're missing? No, we're only missing 6. Oh, I have 6 extras now. You need to prioritize. No, input priority. Right. And you are producing a whole lot, and you're doing absolutely nothing because you don't have any of these things. Let's make as many as you can. How many do you have? Do you have an excess? Not really. There may well be some in storage up here. Yes, there's a lot of them, in fact. Possibly too many. Right, that should now be making the mineral sludge. That seems pointless. Are you connecting with... No, you're not. You're not connecting with mineral sludge. Very awkward. $17K, $16K. Ooh, mineral waste water is very, very full at the moment. 150K. That's actually more than we need. By a lot. You're having trouble evacuating sulfuric wastewater. Sulfuric wastewater because this doesn't go anywhere anymore. That was pointed to one of these other ones. So, if we do that, it suddenly takes the pressure off. And these swing back into action. The mineralized water starts reducing. It's a rare problem for us to have. Filtration unit. Can I actually build a more sophisticated filtration unit? Not in there. I can build a Mark II, but only if I get titanium and processing units. Okay. Well, we have set up some tech to try and learn that stuff. We're actually going through this tech quite quickly now. At least it seems that way. What's this one? Bioplastics. Maybe we should add that one to the list. That uses the metal catalyst, doesn't it? Liquid plastic from... Actually, we don't really need that. Recipe, as far as I can tell, gas steam cracking. Oil steam cracking. Some of these are probably quite useful. Ore processing 2 gives us a ore processing machine Mark II and a pellet press. I think that would be pretty useful. Powder metallurgy 2 gives us something we've had no use for yet, and powder mixer Mark II, that could be particularly useful. Let's do that. Strand casting 2 gives us an improved strand casting machine. That may be useful. Ceramics, that probably wouldn't hurt. There we go. We now have some tech. How is this lot going? What is going? How is this lot going? 35k. I wonder if we actually have a net increase in hydrogen anymore. Why are you basically dead? Oh, and we kind of need to plug in a source of oxygen here. And there. So why are these guys not working quite as effectively as I was expecting them to? Got one lane that's completely blocked and one lane that's flowing freely. That seems a bit silly. That's better. Why are you guys not able to process this? You're not actually getting sulfuric acid up here? Okay, so this one is bogus. That's bogus, that's bogus. That does appear to be a connection to sulfuric acid. Appears to have dried up completely everywhere due to there being no oxygen in the system whatsoever. How on earth did that happen? There's a ton of oxygen up here. Are we not connected anymore? No, we appear to be connected. No, we're not connected through here. Okay. That was it. What about the hydrogen is also disconnected? Alright, back in action. I don't think it'll take particularly long for the sulfuric acid to build right back up. Oh, are you telling me electricity's gone weak again? Good grief. I'm wondering about electricity. Maybe I should invest in some solar panels or something. Just because it's one-time material and, well, and land, which we don't have a lot of, but one-time material cost and then you're done. You don't need to worry about it anymore. The collapse of power may have something to do with no hydrogen, maybe? Well, I know this lot is not going to be able to support these guys with no hydrogen. And we have no hydrogen up there, and hydrogen down here is very, very low. It was the one thing I was concerned about by building out more of these, is what are we doing to our hydrogen supply? It looks like there should be tons of hydrogen. Oh, maybe... Maybe I don't really need this valve here anymore, except that I do because of this. But, yeah. I'm not actually sure what I need there now. That's not going to help me. Alright, for the moment, let's do this. It doesn't reach, okay. Now, are we just not producing the same sort of levels of hydrogen as we were before? We basically need both of these to get up to about 35k before we have hydrogen that... oh, hang on. 75k. You serious, bro? Oh, you're for the oxygen. Huh. Yeah, about to say. We're getting close. There we go. Hydrogen cooled. What I might do is just ride the hydrogen to back where our power is. And some more mineral sludge. I probably should make these pump 2s. In fact, they're actually probably underperforming due to electricity only being at half. $75, there we go. Oh, okay, you have to go up there. Fair enough. Around the block to the hydrogen. We'll jump off here. So that should be resulting in an improved amount of hydrogen being converted into solid fuel. It's not getting down this side at all though. That seems to be what the problem is. Basically just carbon coming up here. What is this basic transport belt? Perhaps it's time to upgrade that. So if the pressure's there, it will do what it needs to. Okay, so there's some fuel coming around here. And actually having the multiple fuels on here in a way is a benefit because it will spread the fuel to other parts sooner. I think there's a carbon reprocess that we could do as well, right? Carbon. We need to make sure we have the right one. Carbon. Products. Ingredient in. No, it must be charcoal. Charcoal pellet. Which this is not actually telling me the product at the end of the day, whether it's actually better than what I have now. But charcoal pellet, so you can make them in assembly machines. 5 charcoal. Alright, let's see if I can find that in the equivalent of one of these. It's probably in there, right? Charcoal pellet. 5 charcoal. And where is charcoal? There's charcoal. So charcoal is 4 megajoules. So turning them into pellets gives you 24. 5 becomes 24. That's not as good as turning it into carbon, I don't think. And carbon you can't do anything with, so I'm not really sure that that's worthwhile. Is this getting further down the line? Nope. Got a certain distance and then it just ran out of steam. Try that. Temporarily, that's actually supposedly sufficient power. That's suggesting that we either don't have enough mineralized water or we don't have enough carbon dioxide. Neither of which appear to be the case. Might be time to push the algae farms another block just to be sure. Do think it's probably the hydrogen though that was the actual cause of our power issue this time, and that does make me a little bit concerned about further conversion here, since this doesn't do, there's no byproduct hydrogen here. I don't know. I think I can be looking at this for quite a while without actually doing anything especially clever or interesting for you guys, so I think it's probably time to call it quits. Why on earth are you struggling? Oh, really? Saline water is still struggling. Okay. Maybe I need to make you your own saline water. In the same way that we made some up here with a saline plant. Oh, sodium hydroxide is now full. Aluminium is now full. This is because green circuits is not. I'm still not 100% sure what's holding up green circuits. It must have been carbon. We've got plenty of carbon now, so you should be going non-stop as fast as you can. Basic electronic board. Basic circuit board is your problem. Okay, basic circuit boards. Oh, that's right, and that was because of the lack of saline. Saline water. Alright, well I'm going to fix the saline water right now. I'm going to get some more landfill. I probably need a bigger box for landfill. What was it? It was the salination plant. I can actually get a Mark II now. Brass pipes. One is brass. I think it's this one. Must have been. Salination plant. Very good. Saline water, that's what I want. What are these? Saline water to make sodium chloride. Interesting. Anyway, that's what I want. And let's use that. And maybe a little bit more landfill just here. Power. And what I'm going to do is use, do I have a top-up valve? I'm going to use a top-up valve. So if we don't have enough, this will help us make some more, just to make sure this doesn't stop. Hopefully that will get this back up to speed. But I think we have to leave you there, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. Look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye-bye for now.